What lies beneath Beyonce's crown? One shocking truth: Queen Bey's darkest secrets are more sinister than you ever imagined, and I'm revealing them. So there's a popular theory circulating online that Beyonce has a clause in her contracts or agreements with other artists that require them to publicly thank or acknowledge her during their performances or acceptance speeches. However, there's no concrete evidence to support this claim. But let me dig into this and then you decide for yourself. There have been several instances that have contributed to this speculation. The craziest one for me is Adele. So during the 59th annual Grammy Awards in 2017, Adele won the award for Album of the Year for 25. In her speech though, she thanked Beyonce saying, "I can't possibly accept this award and I'm very humbled and I'm very grateful and gracious, but my artist of my life is Beyonce. And this album to me, the Lemonade album, was just so monumental and so well thought out and so beautiful and so soul-bearing. And we all got to see another side to you that you don't always let us see, and we appreciate that. And us artists here adore you. You are our light. And the way you make me and my friends feel, the way you make us stand, and the way you make us want to do better, I love you. I always have, and I always will." Her heartfelt tribute to Beyonce sparked a standing ovation and praise from the audience. And while many interpreted it as a strong gesture of admiration, respect, and solidarity, many thought it was just strange and frankly too much. Get this though, it gets like astronomically weirder because she then went on and broke her Grammy in half to give to Beyonce, like the other half, like a real Mean Girls crown moment. Like dedicating your whole speech to someone else is already nasty work, but like breaking your Grammy, at that point, girl, just go ask her to be your mom. And did, because she actually also said at the end of her speech that she wants Beyonce to be her mom. Moving on, so at the 2023 Grammy Awards, Lizzo took home Record of the Year for About Damn Time and was met with massive applause from the crowd. During her acceptance speech, she went on to address Beyonce. She said her sister helped her get out of literature class in the 5th grade to go see Beyonce perform. She followed it by saying, and she sang that gospel medley, and the way she made me feel, I was like, I want to make people feel this way with my music, so thank you so much. You clearly are the artist of our lives. Beyonce seemingly was brought to tears and the crowd to their feet cheering. But this wasn't as intense as Adele, but still, nonetheless, it fed into the theories that Beyonce forced her to do this. At this point, I'm ready to say thanks to Beyonce myself. Although this next incident is a little different, it's still so absurd and has been talked about millions of times throughout the years, so I want to touch on it briefly. Yes, the 2009 MTV Video Music Awards incident between Kanye West and Taylor Swift. In case you've been living under a rock, allow me to quickly give you some context. So West storms on stage and interrupted Swift's acceptance speech for You Belong With Me by taking the microphone out of her hand and saying, "Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you, I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time." This incident is considered to literally be one of pop culture's biggest moments in history. But the theories around it years later are very interesting. A viral TikTok conspiracy theory suggests that Kanye stopped Taylor from being influenced by Diddy, but there's no proof to that, of course, but many think also it was just Kanye being Kanye. But some think Kanye's interruption was intended to protect Swift from being involved with Diddy. He was apparently trying to create a rift between Beyonce and Swift, as she had close ties with Diddy at the time. Now, many TikTok users believe West knew about Diddy's allegations of preying on younger artists and wanted to keep Taylor Swift away from him and Beyonce's influence. One Twitter, or X user, attempted to explain the theory and wrote, "This Diddy thing is making people go insane. The conspiracy theories got me weak. They saying Beyonce was gonna unalive Taylor Swift, so Kanye saved her when he interrupted her on stage. But hey, I've never seen so many positive Kanye comments in a while, so a win is a win." Another user wrote, "Now I see it. He's not angry at Taylor, he's stressed. You people, listen now, search up how many artists were saying that stuff for Beyonce." And because Kanye knew what was going on, he said it to protect her just in case. And that wax figure, it was all for publicity to make up beef so the true dark reason won't see the light. Of course, there's absolutely no proof that supports these claims, but it is food for thought, right? The most recent viral thanking of Beyonce incident happened at the People's Choice Country Awards, where Shaboozey, who's known for his hit song titled A Bar Song, which by the way skyrocketed to the Billboard Hot 100, making a milestone for the artist who is actually known for blending country and hip hop. When he accepted his award for Best New Artist of 2024, during his speech, he went on to thank several people, but upon concluding it, he said, and I quote, "Thanks for you, the Empire, for being the best independent label partner any artist could ask for. And thank you, Beyonce, you're amazing." His lack of elaboration left some fans wondering why he said it at all. The simple "you're amazing" leaves so much to discuss. How is she amazing? What has she done for you? Why are you thanking her? He really made it so short that it was the perfect potion to add to the cauldron of TikTokers believing that these celebs are forced to thank her. And one person even said it's like he gave that whole speech, remember last minute that he has to thank Beyonce or else. Thanked her quickly to save face and then walked off stage. And the scary part about all these people thanking Beyonce is when they do, they look like they're terrified. And what these TikTokers are saying is that Beyonce wields so much power that anyone who kind of treads on her turf is seen as a threat. And they've either got to bow down or they must be eliminated. Basically everyone who accepts an award, whether they're up against Beyonce or not. Now, weirdly though, everybody has been thanking Beyonce over the years when they're not even associated with her. Some fans said, well, is there any evidence pointing to the people being unalive due to not bowing down to Beyonce? Someone actually pointed out that one person who didn't thank Beyonce when she won a Grammy was Amy Winehouse. And yikes, she passed away the very next year. Also, Aaliyah also passed when she was entering the scene around the same time as Beyonce, and both were almost neck and neck when it comes to being the most up-and-coming star. Many think she falls victim, and to be quite honest with you, Aaliyah was actually more popular than her and on a trajectory to being the bigger star. Aaliyah was the princess of pop, but Beyonce wanted to be queen. Many say if Aaliyah hadn't passed away, Beyonce would be nothing today. Well, maybe not nothing, but definitely not as big as she is now. And let me give you some chills real quick. What's really creepy is that it was alleged at the time that Jay-Z was involved, or at least wanted to be involved with Aaliyah intimately. But Aaliyah was actually dating Jay-Z's friend Damon Dash, who, by the way, would go on to say that Jay-Z is a deceitful man. Now, on the fateful day of Aaliyah's passing, Aaliyah actually called Damon Dash and said she didn't feel good, something was off, and her intuition was telling her not to get on the plane. And apparently, Dash told her, you know you have to. Apparently, and also according to a book written by Kathy Landoli titled Baby Girl, sources said Aaliyah apparently was given a sleeping pill and carried onto the plane unconscious before the fatal crash even happened. But what's wild is that Aaliyah was super hesitant to get on and even knew the plane was over limit and knew the plane would struggle to handle 8 passengers with her bodyguard who weighed alone over 300 pounds. She continued to protest, and that's when she was given the pill to basically calm down. So let that run a chill down your spine. It's crazy to think that so many people who have passed on had some sort of tie to Beyonce and Jay-Z, but also that so many people to this day continue to fear Beyonce and her power. What are your thoughts on all of this though? Is this just a bunch of conspiracies, or are these TikTokers really onto something? Have you thanked Beyonce today?
Now, first off, we have the fact that she's protecting her husband and not speaking out. Jay-Z was just named in a lawsuit with Diddy, and it does not look good for him. Since he and Beyonce are together, it also reflects poorly on her. Now, you don't know what I'm talking about? Well, we have to go back to October to get the full story. Now, an anonymous accuser, identified only as Jane Doe, said an incident happened after she was driven to an MTV Video Music Awards after party. Now, a federal lawsuit was originally filed in October in the Southern District of New York, listing Diddy as a defendant. What we knew at the time time was at the after party, the victim was mistreated by Diddy while another male celebrity and female celebrity, neither of whom were named in the lawsuit, watched until she was able to escape. Now this case was refiled on Sunday, December 8th, and it included Jay-Z, aka Sean Carter, in it. It turns out that he was the male celebrity described in the suit. Now, we still don't know who the female celebrity was, but there is speculation that it was either Beyonce or J-Lo. Now, Texas-based attorney Tony Busby filed the suit, and the lawsuit says that a friend dropped off Jane Doe at the VMAs at the Radio City Music Hall. Now, she did not have a ticket, and she approached various limousine drivers to try to gain access to the show or even just an after party. One driver, the lawsuit says, told her that he worked for Diddy and that she fit what Diddy was looking for. Now, he invited her to a party after the show and told her to return to his car later in the evening after he transported Diddy and Jay-Z. Later, the driver picked her up, and after 20 minutes they arrived at a white house with a U-shaped driveway. She then had to sign a document she believed was a non-disclosure agreement on arrival, and she did not receive a copy, but she had to do this to enter the party, which the suit says was filled with celebrities. She was then offered a drink that made her feel woozy, lightheaded, and felt like she needed to lie down, so she went into a room to rest. Shortly afterwards, the suit says Diddy and Jay-Z entered the room, with Diddy saying, "You are ready to party." That's when she alleges she was taken advantage of by both men while an unnamed female celebrity just watched. After the alleged incident, the suit says she grabbed her clothes and left. She made her way to a gas station where she called her father. Now, the accuser is seeking unspecified damages, and all I gotta say about all this is that it's just absolutely disgusting. Now, Jay-Z though is furious with this and that it has become public. According to the lawsuit, her attorneys reached out to Jay-Z to request a mediation to resolve this matter. In a statement, Jay-Z called the mediation request a blackmail attempt, and he also said the lawyer, who I have done a bit of research on, seems to have a pattern of these types of theatrics. Now, in a statement from Tony Busby on Saturday, he wrote, "The pleading speaks for itself. This is a very serious matter that will be litigated in court." Now, after this, Jay-Z filed his own lawsuit against the accuser's attorneys. He filed a motion in New York City on December 9th, requesting that the accuser reveal her name instead of filing anonymously as Jane Doe. His lawyer, Alex Spiro, stated that Jay-Z is respectfully seeking either dismissal of the allegations or disclosure of the plaintiff's identity. "Fair is fair," Alex wrote in the motion. "It's not consistent with justice, fairness, or the rules governing federal proceedings for the plaintiff and her counsel to smear Jay-Z's good name." Now, the document also noted that Jay-Z has built an impeccable reputation, adding he's never been accused of, let alone engaged in, any misconduct. Now, it's just disgusting that he wants her name to be revealed to the world, as we know that his fans will go after this poor woman and make her life even worse. But what does Beyonce think about all of this? Well, she hasn't said a thing. In fact, it appears that she's been supporting him. 2 days after Jay-Z was exposed in the lawsuit, Jay attended the premiere of a movie with Beyonce, where their daughter Blue Ivy voiced one of the characters. It was the first time Jay-Z had been spotted in public since the accusations, and sources with direct knowledge told the Post that before the allegations, it was rumored that Jay-Z and Beyonce were not planning to attend the premiere. However, they appeared to have a change of heart after the lawsuit. Now, she's helping him do damage control, and it's just gross. I mean, as a woman and just as a decent human being, why would you support him like that? If anything, just Beyonce and her daughter should have gone to the premiere and left Jay-Z at home, as they knew the attention would be on him. Now, this whole situation is just so gross and horrible, and not to mention, Jay-Z has admitted to cheating on Beyonce. Now, the fact that she stayed with a cheater is shocking, but now she's defending him after everything he's done. I mean, at this point, just throw the whole family away. Now, besides defending her husband, Beyonce has been in quite a few scandals herself. People are claiming that Diddy helped Beyonce and Jay-Z get rid of their competition. For years, Diddy has been accused of causing the passings of Tupac Shakur, the Notorious B.I.G., Michael Jackson, and others. But now people think that Beyonce and Jay were in on it too. Rising star Aaliyah passed away on August 25th, 2001 after her private jet crashed in the Bahamas just just minutes after takeoff. Now, she was only 22 years old when she passed away and was considered a promising star that would definitely overshadow Beyonce, so some claim Beyonce got Diddy to help get rid of her. Now, at the time of her passing, people were suspicious as no one on board her plane managed to survive. Leslie Lopes, known as Left Eye, was another American artist who passed away suddenly on April 25, 2002 after a car accident. Now, people have also brought up Michael Jackson, as his security guard apparently used to work for Diddy. People are now saying that Beyonce and Diddy had something to do with all of this. Now, J. Cole lists all these celebrities that passed away in his song She Knows, which some people say sounds like Beyonce's last name, Knowles. Now, is it just a coincidence or what? Now, people have done even more digging though and discovered that all the victims, Michael, Aaliyah, and Left Eye, all passed away on the 25th of a month, and that Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Diddy were all born on the 4th of a month. Now, could this mean something? Maybe, maybe not, but it's something to point out. Fans have also brought up the fact that when a lot of people in Hollywood win major awards against Beyonce, they always have to thank her or mention her in some way, and if they don't, they have an untimely passing or an accident. Now, is it crazy to think that Beyonce had Diddy do all of this? One wild theory even involves Kanye West's famous interruption of Taylor Swift at the 2009 MTV Video Music Awards. During Taylor's speech, Kanye said Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. Now, some fans are suggesting that this moment was an attempt by Kanye to protect Taylor. Yeah, it's insane, but some people are starting to believe it and are turning on Beyonce. Now, the internet is always full of strange rumors, but this one is picking up steam, and it will need to be shut down soon before it spreads more and more. And let me tell you, it's spreading like a wildfire all over TikTok. Now, some people have turned it into a joke, which I completely understand, but could there be some truth to it? It sure does seem like it. Not to mention, there's always been rumors that Beyonce and Jay-Z are a part of a secret society. So, believe what you want. Beyonce has dropped Jay-Z's last name among the scandal going on with him. Now, does this mean they're going to get a divorce? Well, here's what we know. Beyonce was recently listed in Forbes' list of most powerful women. People were shocked to see her go by Beyonce Knowles, her maiden name, instead of her official name, Beyonce Knowles Carter. Now, this name change is interesting considering Jay-Z has been accused of committing a pretty horrible crime with his best friend, Diddy. Now, fans noticed this change right away, and some speculated a soft launch name change with comments like, "Let me hear you all say uh-oh," and "Nah, don't forget the Carter." Now, others humorously chimed in, "Everyone say, hey, Miss Knowles." Now, why is Beyonce trying to distance herself from her husband? Well, it all has to do with their friend, Diddy. Jay-Z was just accused of mistreating and taking advantage of a girl in the year 2000 with Diddy. The anonymous accuser, identified only as Jane Doe, said the incident happened after she was driven to an MTV Video Music Awards after party. Now, the federal lawsuit was originally filed in October in the Southern District of New York, listing Diddy as a defendant. What we knew at the time was at the after party, the victim was mistreated by Diddy, while another male celebrity and female celebrity, neither of whom were named in the lawsuit, watched until the victim was able to escape. Now, this case was just refiled on Sunday, December 8th, and it included Jay-Z, aka Sean Carter, in it. It turns out that he was the male celebrity described in the suit. But now some people think the unnamed female celebrity may be Beyonce. Now, the lawsuit says a friend dropped Jane Doe off at the VMAs at Radio City Music Hall. She didn't have a ticket, but she approached various limousine drivers to try to gain access to the show or even just an after party. Now, one driver told her that he worked for Diddy and that she fit what Diddy was looking for. He invited her to a party after the show and told her to return to his car in the late evening after he had transported Diddy and Jay-Z. Now, later, the driver picked her up, and after 20 minutes they arrived at a white house with a U-shaped driveway, the suit says. Now, she then had to sign a document she believes was a non-disclosure agreement on arrival to enter the party, which the suit says was filled with celebrities. She was then offered a drink that made her feel woozy, lightheaded, and felt like she needed to lie down, so she went into a room to rest. Now, shortly afterwards, though, the suit says Diddy and Jay-Z entered the room, with Diddy saying, "You are ready to party." That's when she alleges she was taken advantage of by both men while an unnamed female celebrity just watched. After the alleged incident, the suit says she grabbed her clothes and left. She made her way to a gas station where she called her father, it says. Now, the accuser is seeking unspecified damages. Now, Jay-Z has denied all accusations against him and has been going back and forth with Jane Doe's lawyer, Tony Busby, on social media. According to the lawsuit, her attorneys reached out to Jay-Z to request a mediation to resolve this matter. Upon present information and belief, Jay-Z responded to said letter by not only filing an utterly frivolous lawsuit, but also by orchestrating a conspiracy of harassment, bullying, and intimidation against the plaintiff's lawyers, their families, employees, and former associates in an attempt to silence plaintiff from naming Jay-Z herein. The effort was made to scare plaintiff and to discredit her counsel. That effort failed. Indeed, plaintiff chose to file this amendment as a result of the egregious conduct perpetrated by Carter, said the lawsuit. Now, in a response to CNN, Jay-Z called the mediation request a blackmail attempt. He also said this lawyer, who I have done a bunch of research on, he said, seems to have a pattern of these types of theatrics. Now, in a statement from Tony Busby on Saturday, he wrote, "The pleading speaks for itself. This is a very serious matter that will be litigated in court." Now, in response to this, Jay-Z posted a lengthy statement about this accusation, and he claimed that Tony was engaged in unprofessional behavior. Now, again, it's been a lot of back and forth about all of this, but the bottom line is that Jay-Z is denying everything. Now, Jay-Z was actually spotted the day after the lawsuit was refiled. Jay attended the premiere of a movie with Beyonce where their daughter, Blue Ivy, voiced one of the characters. It was the first time Jay-Z had been spotted in public since the accusations. But sources with direct knowledge told the Post that before the allegations, it was rumored that Jay-Z and Beyonce were not planning to attend the premiere. However, they appeared to have a change of heart after the lawsuit. So it seems like this was some kind of PR move, which is honestly just so icky to me. Now, this is a horrible look for Beyonce because it seems like she's okay with this behavior and is even trying to protect him. Now, the attorney for Jay-Z, Alex Spiro, has filed a motion requesting that the accuser in a high-profile lawsuit reveal her identity. In documents submitted to a Manhattan federal court, Spiro stated, "Mr. Carter deserves to know the identity of the person who is effectively accusing him of criminal conduct." He further criticized Jane Doe's claims of potential harm from disclosure as insufficient, asserting that her accusations were publicized in a manner aimed at causing maximum reputational damage to Carter. But musical artist Jaguar Wright has also spoken out, calling both Diddy and Jay-Z monsters in the past. Now, she did an interview with Piers Morgan and she made her feelings clear about the two stars. She asked Jay-Z to speak out about the arrests, but she also added that there were thousands of victims in total when Piers asked how many there could be. Wright then mentioned Beyonce, saying she was supposedly involved in the unfair incidents that transpired over time. She went on to say that she has spoken to hundreds of victims whom she continues to assist. She even said that she had 3 victims who were willing to testify about what Jay-Z did to them, as well as what he did to his wife. Well, that's what she said. And now it turns out that she might have been telling the truth. Everyone at the time was calling her crazy, but I'm not too sure now. I mean, it seems like she might have been right about everything. Now, this isn't the first time someone has spoken up about some of Jay-Z's creepy behavior though. Jay-Z's ex, Carmen Bryan, appeared to react to the news, and people are bringing up her weird relationship with him. Now, she just recently posted some shady stuff on her Instagram account, as in one Instagram story she shared the lyrics of a Kanye West song, and these lyrics pretty much describe Jay-Z's situation right now and what he did. She then posted another story saying, "These days people don't defend what is right, they defend who they like, and that's why we call you groupies." Additionally, in recent updates, she also uploaded a screenshot of an article that mentioned how Jay-Z's alleged son is also planning on filing a lawsuit against the musician. With her back in the media though, people are bringing up some things she said in her book about Jay-Z. In It's No Secret, From Nas to Jay-Z, From Seduction to Scandal, a hip-hop Helen of Troy tells all, she recounted how she once woke up to Jay-Z kissing her. She said, "Over dinner, I decided he and I would be good friends for a very long time. We went back to Eric's house talking and laughing. I was in no condition to drive home, so I decided to spend the night at Eric's," she explained. "Sean and I sat on the couch and pretended to watch television television. Before long, I drifted off to sleep. I woke up with Sean kissing me. His lips were so soft and luscious, and I began to melt into him. But yeah, that's not okay. Not at all. Now, it's also been exposed that Jay-Z has a thing for younger girls, which didn't seem to get him into trouble in the past, but now that I'm looking back at it though, it is weird. I mean, the signs were there, people, you just ignored them. Jay-Z and Beyonce have a 12-year age gap, and they met when Beyonce was really young. Now, it seems like the couple can't make up their minds about how old she was when they met. Not to mention, whenever Jay-Z is asked about the first time meeting, he gets extremely nervous. Now, Jay-Z has a history of going for younger girls, so it really has people wondering if they're lying about when they met to make Jay look less creepy. Not to mention that he's very possessive over her.
About to go to sleep. So, I'm in Ethiopia.
In 2003, Beyonce released the song Baby Boy featuring Sean Paul. It was a huge song but was only performed live 3 times. That year, Jay-Z reportedly banned Sean Paul from performing the song with Beyonce at the VMAs. Beyonce performed it, but Sean was in the crowd. Now, Beyonce and Sean didn't even film the music video together, as it's been reported that Jay-Z didn't want other men around her. Now, this isn't the first time something like this has happened, as in an interview, Bun B, who worked with Beyonce on Check On It, revealed that Jay-Z called during the video shoot and told all the men to leave the set. Now, it just seems like he's really controlling of her, which is not a good thing at all. Now, of course, we have to talk about the elevator incident. At the 2014 Met Gala, a fight broke out between Solange Knowles, Beyonce's sister, and Jay-Z, while the 3 of them were in an elevator. Now, the footage leaked and Beyonce just stood there the whole time, and honestly, it was kind of funny. Now, after it was leaked, the family put out a statement saying Jay and Solange each assume their share of responsibility for what has occurred, the May 2014 statement read. They both acknowledge their role in this private matter that has played out in the public, they both have apologized to each other, and we have moved forward as a united family. At the end of the day, families have problems, and we're no different. We love each other, and above all, we are family. We've put this behind us and hope everyone else will do the same. But it was rumored that Solange attacked him because of cheating rumors. Now, these were just rumors until Beyonce released her album Lemonade in 2016. So Beyonce dropped a full album, Lemonade, complete with an entire film of visuals, on April 23, 2016. Now, on the album, she essentially confirmed that Jay-Z cheated on her, opening with the lyric, "You can taste the dishonesty, it's all over your breath," and at other points, she simply asks, "Are you cheating on me?" After the release of Lemonade, Beyonce made several public appearances solo, including the Met Gala and the VMAs, where she performed a medley from Lemonade, though she did meet up with Jay-Z at the after party. Now, one of the most shocking lyrics from her album though was, "He only want me when I'm not there, he better call Becky with the good hair." Now, this prompted fans to look for this so-called Becky. Now, fashion designer Rachel Roy has been thought of as the #1 person to be the woman Jay-Z had an affair with. Now, nothing has ever been confirmed, but looking at all the evidence, it is very plausible. Now, Rachel has a long history with Jay-Z's business enterprise, Rocawear, so the timing and opportunity would align. Now, when Beyonce released her album Lemonade, she finally confirmed that Jay-Z cheated on her, and she said it was the Becky with the good hair. Now, that same day, Rachel posted on Instagram with the caption, "Good hair, don't care, but we'll take good lighting for selfies or self-truths always, live in the light, hashtag no drama queens." Now, this upset a lot of people, and her comments were flooded with hate. Now, she eventually made her account private and eventually did delete the post. Now, Rachel made a cryptic post days before Cowboy Carter, Beyonce's recent album, was released. In an Instagram post, Rachel posted a quote by Albert Einstein, "Stay away from negative people, they have a problem for every solution." Now, the phrase "good hair" has re-emerged though after Beyonce released Cowboy Carter. "Hey Miss Honeybee, it's Dolly P," country legend Dolly Parton says in an interlude called Dolly P, which led into a reimagined cover of Jolene. "You know that hussy with the good hair you sing about? Reminded me of someone I knew back when, except she has flaming locks of auburn hair, bless her heart, just a hair of a different color, but it hurts just the same." So, is Rachel so-called Becky? A lot of people think so. Then, in 2017, Jay-Z admitted to cheating on Beyonce, he just didn't say with who. He told the New York Times Teen magazine, "You know, most people walk away, like the divorce rate is like 50% or something because most people can't see themselves," he said. "The hardest thing is seeing pain on someone's face that you caused and then you have to deal with yourself. So you know most people don't want to do that, you don't want to look inside yourself, and so you walk away." Now, the couple eventually worked through everything and are still together today, but with breaking news of Jay-Z committing crimes with his friend Diddy, will Beyonce stand by him? Earlier this month, Jay-Z and Diddy were named as defendants in a civil lawsuit that accused them of taking advantage of a girl who identified as Jane Doe, who claimed that the incident happened at an MTV Video Music Awards after party in the year 2000. When the lawsuit was originally filed in October in the Southern District of New York, only Diddy was listed as defendant. It listed a male and female celebrity, but the names were not revealed. It was then refiled by Texas-based attorney Tony Busby on December 8th to include Jay-Z. Now, in addition to denying the accusations, Jay-Z has since asked the court to dismiss Jane Doe's civil lawsuit for lack of subject matter jurisdiction due to the plaintiff's lack of standing. Now, Jay-Z's lawyer Alex Spiro is setting the record straight on his client's relationship with Diddy though. Mr. Carter has nothing to do with Mr. Combs' case or Mr. Combs. They knew each other professionally for a number of years, he told Us Weekly and other reporters during a roundtable with press on Monday, December 16th at Roc Nation's New York City offices. Just like in all professions, people know each other. At the music awards, they support each other. If you go to the NBA All-Star game, they support each other. That's how professions work. There's no closer association between any of them. That's also a matter of fiction. Now, he also gave a presentation with slides detailing alleged holes in the accuser's story. It's obvious to everyone that Mr. Carter did not do this, Alex said. Obviously, Jay-Z did not do this, but what I want to do today is just sort of walk you through some of this so that you can see the truth and you can see what happened yourselves. You can see here now that this is starting to unravel and the truth is coming out, he alleged, adding that the lawsuit attacks a man with the integrity of Mr. Carter. Now, days after refiling the lawsuit, Jay-Z attended the movie premiere of Mustafa, The Lion King, which his wife and daughter have roles in. Now, this shocked a lot of people that he was out in public already. Sources with direct knowledge told the Post that before the allegations, it was rumored that Jay-Z and Beyonce were not planning to attend the premiere. However, they appeared to have a change of heart after the lawsuit. Beyonce forced Jay-Z to go to the premiere last night, an insider told DailyMail.com. They are working with a crisis specialist who is advising them on how to handle this. Beyonce believes the best way is to face it head on, and that's what they did. Disney, though, had other feelings, as an insider revealed that there was hesitation on the Disney side regarding the best way to handle it given the events from the lawsuit. But at the end of the day, it was Beyonce's call and she wanted to support her husband. So, what will end up happening to these two? I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
First off, we have Wendy Williams. When Beyonce was set to release her HBO special, Life is But a Dream, Wendy Williams was quick to say, quote, "I am a Beyonce fan and I'm gonna watch her upcoming documentary because fortunately, one of the TVs in our kitchen has closed captioning, so I'll be able to understand what she says." The audience began laughing nervously before Williams went in for the kill. "You know Beyonce can't talk. She sounds like she has a 5th grade education," she says. This did not go over so well with Wendy's audience, who responded with several boos. "Excuse me, I just said I was a fan," she says, "but we have to call a spade a spade." Williams' comments did not go over well with the Beyonce fans. It was also picked up by several media outlets who reported on Williams' commentary. Next up, we have Azealia Banks. Azealia has a lot to say about everything and anything, except her own music, that apparently is not doing too well. In 2016, following the release of Beyonce's award-winning album Lemonade, Azealia was quick to respond to writer Ta-Nehisi Coates' praise of Beyonce's work. "I don't think for a second that Beyonce was intelligent enough to come up with any of those ideas on her own," she tweeted. But there's an update on the Azealia Banks Beyonce drama, as just a few weeks ago, Azealia made another comment about her. Beyonce announced details of her new album, Renaissance Act 2, during the Super Bowl, and as soon as the advertisement concluded, Beyonce released the project's first 2 songs, Texas Hold'em and 16 Carriages. And the banjo twang of the former and the slow pacing of the latter both seem to confirm ongoing speculation that Beyonce was planning on releasing a country album. Now, Azalea Banks has spoken up, warning her fellow performer that she was making a huge mistake. In an Instagram stories post, she said about the new material, quote, "Nothing country about it. You're setting yourself up to be ridiculed again. There's a theatrical element to country music. The critics are not going to accept an ugly blonde wig and bullying from Jay-Z. It's giving big-time musical grift." Yes, black girls can make country music, she continued, but you're just really not hitting the button. Our next point is not about a celebrity, but actually about a movement that's insane. There's a movement going around for the last decade that believes that Beyonce is associated with the Illuminati and is trying to take down America. Beyonce and her husband Jay-Z have long been the subject of conspiracy theories and wild fantasies. The idea is that the two are members of the Illuminati and are secretly ushering a revolution, a new world order, and brainwashing the public through their music videos and dance routines. Untangling the complexities of the Illuminati conspiracy would require its own video, but in a nutshell, conspiracy theorists allege that the world is run by an ancient cabal of cultists who communicate through secret signals, sometimes concealed within the music videos. But it's a bit weird that these supposedly all-powerful celebs can't just speak privately or send text messages to, but essentially that is the idea. For several years, Jay-Z has, during his performances, made a hand signal that forms a triangle. This is supposedly meant to represent a diamond and has become synonymous with Jay-Z and his record label. Occasionally though, Beyonce will also flash this hand signal, likely in support of her husband. Thus, conspiracy theorists believe that both Jay-Z and Beyonce are in the Illuminati. Next up, let's discuss Beyonce's fake pregnancy. TMZ alleged that Beyonce's 2011 pregnancy was fake. I know it sounds insane, but in 2011, the internet was buzzing with rumors that Beyonce was not really pregnant and that she was wearing a fake stomach in an elaborate cover-up scheme. A controversial video actually went viral online, and that even fueled the fire more. Beyonce appeared on an Australian TV show called Sunday Night wearing a tight red dress that accentuated her baby bump. But when she sits down in her chair, her baby bump appears to collapse inward, leading many to believe that it's not her real stomach after all, but a prosthetic device intended to deceive. But why would she be fake pregnant? There were rumors that she had hired a surrogate mother to carry the kid, so she didn't have to put her body through the strains of being pregnant. Next up, we have Kid Rock. The Born Free and cowboy singer threw some serious shade at Beyonce in an interview with Rolling Stone, published a few years ago after the release of his new album, First Kiss. He told Rolling Stone he is, quote, flabbergasted by the attention she receives. Beyonce to me doesn't have an effing purple rain, but she's the biggest thing on earth, he says. How can you be that big without at least one Sweet Home Alabama? People are like, Beyonce's hot. She got a nice butt. I'm like, cool. I like skinny white chicks. Doesn't really do much to me. Beyonce has not responded to Kid Rock's very offensive remarks. However, the Beyonce fans have taken action to defend their Grammy Award-winning queen in a way only Beyonce fans could, by flooding Kid Rock's Instagram page with bee emojis. And then Kid Rock posted a photo of bee repellent. Yikes. Next up, we have Piers Morgan. When Beyonce released Lemonade in 2016, Azalea Banks was not the only celebrity who wasn't pleased with her. In a Daily Mail article, Piers Morgan criticized Beyonce by calling her militant. In a tweet sharing the article, Morgan said, quote, I prefer the old Beyonce, the one who didn't use grieving mothers to shift records and further fill her already massively enriched purse. Morgan also recalls interviewing Beyonce at President Barack Obama's inaugural ball and meeting a very bright, warm, funny, sharp star that pains to be seen as an entertainer and musician and not as a black woman who sings. He remembers the singer when asked if she ever experienced racism in her childhood, saying, I feel with my career I've broken barriers. I don't think people think about my race anymore. Now it seems to be the complete opposite, Piers says. The new Beyonce wants to be seen as a black woman activist first and foremost, and then entertainer and musician second. He then questions Beyonce's intentions for showing the grieving mothers of Mike Brown and Trayvon Martin in her video for Lemonade, contending that both women were exploited to promote the album. Next up, let's discuss Solange Knowles, Beyonce's sister. In a viral video years and years ago, Solange was seen hitting Beyonce's husband Jay-Z in an elevator after he allegedly cheated on Beyonce. Jay-Z's album 444 alluded to him being unfaithful. He wrote, "Look, I apologize. I often womanize. Took for my child to be born to see through a woman's eyes." The rapper and Beyonce had planned to do a joint album years ago, but ended up doing solo records instead. "We were using our art almost like a therapy session, and we started making music together. And then the music that she was making at the time was further along, so her album came out as opposed to the joint album that we were working on." Next up, we have 50 Cent. 50 Cent has never come out and said the words "I hate Beyonce," but during multiple interviews over the years, the rapper has implied he's not the biggest fan of Queen Bey or her husband Jay-Z. Speaking to People in 2015, 50 Cent defended the Grammys' decision to award Album of the Year to Beck over Beyonce's album, saying Beck produced his own record. He wrote it. There's 11 producers on Beyonce's album. That is a fair analysis and not necessarily an insult, but let's dig a little deeper. A year prior, as Beyonce and Jay-Z tried to move on from leaked security footage showing Beyonce's sister Solange attacking Jay-Z in an elevator, 50 Cent publicly recalled a time Beyonce allegedly confronted him inside a Las Vegas nightclub. One time, Beyonce jumped off of a ledge and came running over because she thought me and Jay-Z were having issues, he told a radio station. And I'm like, what the F? Did she really just bump and run up on me like that? She bugged out at me. Next up, we have Etta James. Beyonce earned arguably the best reviews of her entire movie career playing legendary singer Etta James in the 2008 flick Cadillac Records. She even attended the Los Angeles premiere of the movie with Etta James, suggesting that the two were on friendly terms, at least professionally. Apparently, this was not the case. During a 2009 concert, Etta James, who died in 2012, made it very clear she was not happy about Beyonce singing her iconic 1961 song At Last at President Barack Obama's inaugural ball in 2008. I tell you, that woman he had singing for him, singing my song, she's gonna get her butt whipped, she says. The great Beyonce, I cannot stand her. Etta James said Beyonce has, quote, no business being up there singing on a big ol' President Day and singing my song that I have been singing forever. First off, we have Keyshia Cole. In 2013, when Beyonce released Bow Down, one of the people who were not pleased with her was fellow singer Keyshia Cole. In a series of tweets, Cole called Beyonce out. I can't stand when people are all self-righteous when it's convenient and it makes them good. First, women need to stick together. This girl better bow down, Cole tweeted, alleging that Beyonce was being hypocritical. Next up, we have Donald Trump, former president of the United States. Donald Trump is not in the good books of many celebs, Beyonce included. In 2016, when he was running for office, he didn't have most celebrities' support. And if his 2019 Minneapolis rally speech is anything to go by, he didn't need them apparently. At the rally, Trump sent some words in the direction of Beyonce, Jay-Z, and even Bruce Springsteen, who rallied behind Hillary Clinton. I didn't need Beyonce and Jay-Z. I didn't need little Bruce Springsteen, Trump said. I really like Jay-Z, but there is trouble in paradise. When his wife's sister starts whacking him, it's not good. No help from Beyonce leads to a mess, is another quote Trump said in 2014 after Solange Knowles, Beyonce's sister, was caught attacking Jay-Z in an elevator after he was allegedly caught cheating on Beyonce. But why are we caring about what Donald Trump says anyway when he has said mean things to nearly every single celebrity out there? Years ago, when discussing Angelina Jolie, Trump said, quote, I'm not saying she's an unattractive woman, but she's not beauty by any stretch of the imagination. And now she's like a representative of the United Nations and world peace on hunger and all this crap. It's called Give Me a Break. But she's not, in terms of beauty, she's not a great beauty. She's okay, but she's not a great beauty. I really understand beauty. I do own Miss Universe. I own Miss USA. Wow. In the history of every negative comment said about Beyonce, perhaps Carlos Santana's words reign supreme, and not in a good way. In an interview with the New Zealand Herald, Santana said, I think Adele won a Grammy because she can sing. With all respect to our sister Beyonce, Beyonce is very beautiful to look at and it's more a modeling kind of music. She's not a singer. One-hit wonder Kia, known for her 2001 My Neck, My Back, had some things to get off her chest following the release of Beyonce's Lemonade. First of all, the video was tired, she says, and through and long, and it made black people look bad as hell. You're walking around with this blonde hair, but you want African kings and queens in your videos? Interesting. Our next point is not about a celebrity, but about a movement that believes Beyonce is associated with the Illuminati and is trying to take down America. Beyonce and her husband Jay-Z have long been the subject of conspiracy theories and wild fantasies. The idea is that the two are members of the Illuminati and are secretly ushering a revolution, a new world order, brainwashing the public through music videos and dance routines. Untangling the complexities of the Illuminati conspiracy would require its own video, but in a nutshell, conspiracy theorists allege that the world is run by an ancient cabal of cultists who communicate through secret signals, sometimes concealed within music videos. It's a bit weird that these supposedly all-powerful people can't just speak privately or send text messages to one another, but that is essentially the idea. For several years, Jay-Z has, during his performances, made a hand signal that forms a triangle. This is supposedly meant to represent a diamond and has been synonymous with Jay-Z and his record label. Occasionally, Beyonce will also flash the hand signal, likely in support of her husband. Thus, conspiracy theorists believe that Jay-Z's iconic hand signal is secretly signaling his devotion to the Illuminati. It's no secret that Jay-Z is a bit of a ladies' man. He's been in the spotlight, so his relationships have had some light shown on them as well. Blue Cantrell was one of his most widely talked about exes, and she definitely threw some shade when she made comments about the connection between her name and that of Beyonce's daughter, Blue Ivy. Her sarcastic comment about how she, quote, loved their child's name raised a few eyebrows and surely ruffled Beyonce's feathers. In 2003, Blue Cantrell launched a blistering attack on chart rival Beyonce, claiming the Destiny's Child beauty was, quote, ripping me off. Cantrell was fuming after hearing Beyonce's 2003 single Baby Boy because she believed it was far too similar to her own #1 hit, Breathe. Both songs are edgy R&B tunes featuring dancehall star Sean Paul. She moans, Beyonce is talented and beautiful and I'm a fan, but she has a song out which is really similar to mine. She uses words which are in the hook of my song, and if she's that talented, she wouldn't have to copy somebody else. Her song Baby Boy has the exact word breathe in the hook. She's ripping me off, but there is no animosity because I'm a really positive person. However, I'm a little disappointed because she is established and didn't have to do that, but she won't get away with plagiarizing me because I am a #1 artist. Blue's anger is increased because Beyonce chose to use Sean Paul in her song as well, and she reckoned that his presence was a direct dig at her. She added, now she is doing a song with Sean Paul because I'm linked with Sean Paul, so I don't know what her intentions are. I'm not tit for tat like that. I don't waste my time sitting around trying to think about what Beyonce is thinking. Next up, we have megastar Taylor Swift. Queen Bey's fans accused the Me singer of copying Beyonce's 2018 Coachella set with her performance at the Billboard Music Awards in 2019, both of which heavily featured drum lines and very similar choreography. I see Taylor Swift is doing the great value version of Beyonce's Homecoming, one Twitter user joked. But Beyonce is not the only celebrity that Taylor has allegedly ripped off. After Taylor released Shake It Off, she was met with a lawsuit after another band accused her of stealing their song. The lawsuit was filed by Sean Hall and Nathan Butler, the songwriters behind Playa's Gonna Play, a 2000 track by the R&B group 3LW that contains the lines Playas they gonna play and haters they gonna hate. They accused Swift of using those lines without permission or credit on Shake It Off, which was released in 2014 and became one of her defining hits, notching 4 weeks at #1 on the Billboard chart. After Taylor released her album Red, singer Matt Nathanson claims that Taylor stole many lyrics from his music. One of Swift's songs from her album album Red, entitled All Too Well, includes the line, "And I forget about you long enough to forget why I needed to," which Nathanson claims is more or less the same as a part of his 2003 song I Saw. "And I'll forget about you long enough to forget why I need to." Almost identical lyrics. He tweeted about the coincidence but has since deleted the message. Nathanson returned to Twitter to share his thoughts after and said, "So far my favorite thing about today is the wave of Taylor Swift fans calling me a prick on Twitter for writing my song I Saw in 2003. Taylor is a self-proclaimed fan of Nathan's and has been seen at some of his concerts with lyrics to his music written on her arms." In a now deleted tweet, Nathanson wrote, quote, "She's definitely a fan and now she's a thief." Now back to Beyonce. Our next Beyonce hater is 50 Cent. 50 Cent has never come out and said the words "I hate Beyonce," but during multiple interviews over the years, the rapper has implied he's not the biggest fan of Queen Bey or her husband Jay-Z. Speaking to People in 2015, 50 Cent defended the Grammys' decision to award Album of the Year to Beck over Beyonce, saying, "Beck produced his record, he wrote the record. There's 11 producers on Beyonce's album." That is a fair analysis and not necessarily an insult, but let's dig a little deeper. A year prior, as Beyonce and Jay-Z tried to move on from leaked security footage showing Beyonce's sister Solange attacking Jay-Z in an elevator, 50 Cent publicly recalled a time Beyonce allegedly confronted him inside a Las Vegas nightclub. One time Beyonce jumped off a ledge and came running over because she thought me and Jay had issues, he told radio station Power 105.1. And I'm like, what the F? Did she really just jump and run up on me like that? She bugged out at me. Next up, we have Sana Lathan, who apparently bit Beyonce at a party. You heard that right, she bit Beyonce. Although Sana denies this, she also said she is not bothered by the rumors linking her to the hashtag #WhoBitBeyonce movement. The actress appeared on the cover of Health magazine years ago, where she broke her silence on how she felt about the reports that she allegedly was the actress who bit Beyonce at a Jay-Z concert after party. The wild story gained a lot of steam in the media when Tiffany Haddish recalled her version of the events but refused to name the attacker. "I think it's the most absurd thing I've ever been involved with," Sonia told the magazine. "Thank God I've been in this business for 20 years and I've had so many rumors about me. They used to devastate me in my 20s, but in order to survive in this business, you just have to let it roll." Lastly, we have Kid Rock. The Born Free and Cowboy rocker threw some serious shade at Beyonce in an interview with Rolling Stone, published years ago after the release of his album First Kiss. He told the music magazine that he is flabbergasted by the attention Beyonce receives. "Beyonce to me doesn't have an effing purple rain, but she's the biggest thing on earth," he says. "How can you be that big without at least one Sweet Home Alabama? People are like, Beyonce's hot, she's got a nice..." I'm like, cool, well I like skinny white chicks. Doesn't really effing do much for me. Beyonce has not responded to Kid Rock's offensive remarks. However, the Beehive, Beyonce's fans, have taken action to defend their Grammy-winning queen in a way only the Beehive would, by flooding his Instagram page with bee emojis. And then Kid Rock posted a photo of bee repellent. First off, we have the 2024 Grammys. While Jay-Z was accepting his award, he took his mic time to look at his wife Beyonce in the audience and asked the Grammys why they have never given her Album of the Year. People were stunned, and so was Beyonce. Body language expert Judy James told The Mirror that Beyonce tried to hide her facial expressions with her white hat during her husband's acceptance speech. The expert believes that, quote, "a loyal husband can be a dangerous thing, no matter how much they show love, plus an intrinsic drive to defend and protect." Judy shared that most women of today's era would prefer to stand up for themselves. Quote, "You can argue Jay-Z has his heart somewhere in the right place in terms of velour, but Beyonce's frozen-looking symmetric smile seems to hint that she might just be feeling as mortified as many women would," she added. Judy shared, "Moaning about not getting an award means next year's awards will be poignant for Beyonce. If she fails again, she'll be hurt. But if she wins it, the hint will be that Jay-Z nailed it for her rather than her own talent. Beyonce holds the record of winning the most Grammys ever, however, she has never received the Album of the Year award. Next up, we have Jay-Z's cheating scandal. In 2013, rumors came out that the rapper had been cheating, and then there was #ElevatorGate that trended when Solange Knowles attacked Jay-Z while sister Beyonce stayed silent. More recently, Jay-Z's album 444 alluded to him being unfaithful. He wrote, "Look, I apologize, often womanized, took for my child to be born to see through a woman's eyes." The rapper and Beyonce had planned to do a joint album, but ended up doing solo records instead. "We were using our art mostly like a therapy session, and we started making music together. And then the music she was making at that time was further along. So her album came out as opposed to the joint album that we were working on." Next up, we have the Lance Rivera situation. In 1999, Jay-Z was arrested for, let's just call this, putting a knife into the young record executive Lance Rivera. Jay-Z believed Rivera distributed bootlegged copies of his then unreleased album, The Life and Times of S. Carter, which was not supposed to hit stores until later. After committing the crime, Jay-Z turned himself into the police, accompanied by his lawyer. A witness to the altercation said Jay-Z walked up to Rivera and said, "Lance, you broke my heart." Rivera responded with, "What?" before Jay-Z pulled out the knife, according to the witness. Jay-Z pled guilty and faced a 3-year sentence of probation. Next, we have the fact that Jay-Z was a substance dealer, we'll call it, in his teenage years. Speaking to Vanity Fair, Jay-Z opened up about his past, admitting that he was dealing substances to make ends meet. "It was everywhere. It was inescapable. There wasn't any place you could go for isolation or a break," he said in an interview. "You go in the hallway, there are people using in the hallway. You look out in the puddles on the curbs, everywhere." Jay-Z admitted that while he made a living selling substances, he never once used them. Jay-Z claimed that he did learn some of the business practices he does today from his time dealing the substances. "I know about budgets. I was a dealer. To be in a deal, you need to know what you can spend, what you need to re-up." Next up, let's talk about Jay-Z suing Rita Ora for alleging that she still owed 4 more albums. Famous singer Rita Ora was sued by Jay-Z's album label Roc Nation, with Ora alleging the company lost interest after they focused their attention on other ventures such as streaming service Tidal and also a sports management company. Roc Nation's claimed they sunk millions into Rita's career and that she owes them 4 more albums. Ora signed with Roc Nation in 2008 while she was an unknown artist and agreed to deliver 5 albums and has only produced 1. Ora's attorney Howard King said Jay-Z promised Ora, quote, total freedom from the label. In a statement, King believes that Sony Music made Roc Nation file the action to preserve whatever rights Sony had. Roc Nation alleged it was a breach of contract and they demanded $2 million plus be given back along with unspecified damages for the 4 undelivered albums. The lawsuit was settled between the 2 parties, with Rita Ora possibly signing with a new music label. Next, let's discuss Jay-Z being arrested for gun possession. In April of 2001, Jay-Z and 3 other men were arrested outside a Manhattan nightclub and held on charges of illegal gun possession. Police said that Jay-Z was detained when his bodyguard Hamza Hewitt was allegedly found with a firearm in his waistband. Hewitt, Jay-Z, and 2 other individuals were all charged with 3rd-degree criminal possession. The case was delayed until October 2001 when Jay-Z entered a plea of not guilty and was found not to have been part of the possession, but did face 3 years probation for his 1999 incident with Rivera, which we just talked about. Jay-Z also went under fire for his decision to host his famous Oscars after party in 2022 at the controversial Chateau Marmont Hotel. Every year, the rapper hosts one of the starriest parties of the night, known as the Gold Party, with attendees in previous years including Rihanna, Reese Witherspoon, Kanye West, and Kim K. His last party, which was held pre pandemic in 2020 was at the Chateau Marmont. But Jay-Z's plans to throw the 2022 event in a lounge space at the Sunset Strip Hotel have been met with criticism due to an ongoing boycott of the property by some of its workers and celebrity guests over alleged racial discrimination at the venue. Kurt Peterson, the boss of workers union Unite Here Local, said in a statement, quote, "For Jay-Z to choose the Chateau Marmont for the Gold Party is shockingly insensitive. They must move their event and choose an after-party hotspot that treats its workers, especially black women, with dignity and respect. Jay-Z has a responsibility to do better," he added. "We hope Jay-Z joins Gabrielle Union, Issa Rae, Quinta Brunson, Ashley Nicole Black in boycotting Chateau Marmont." The union even organized a picket line outside the bash beginning at 8 p.m. the night of the party. In 2020, The Hollywood Reporter published an investigation of allegations against the Chateau Marmont, with employees claiming that black and Latino visitors were stopped and questioned when they were arrived more than white guests, claims that were confirmed by a representative for comedian Tiffany Haddish. The Chateau's law firm said at the time that workplace issues are regularly raised, as at any business, and swiftly investigated and addressed, adding that a whistleblower line is in place for employees to report issues or concerns directly to outside integrity counsel. Next, let's discuss 4040, Jay-Z's old nightclub. His nightclub 4040 was reported to have bounced checks. In 2003, reports claimed that two companies filed separate lawsuits against Jay-Z's nightclub for a total of $46,000 in unpaid bills to the two businesses that complained, claiming that they received rubber checks from 21's Inc., the rapper's company. Ronald Mark Associates was to be paid $18 grand for manufacturing 30 custom tables, but only received $5,000. Ron Berkowitz, a spokesman for 4040, downplayed the allegations, claiming the bouncing checks are a bum rap. Berkowitz said one suit was settled for $8,000 on November 2nd, 2003. The second lawsuit was without merit, but said they were countersuing Ronald Mark Associates after they couldn't deliver tables as promised before the opening night. The next point is a bit shocking. Jay-Z reportedly shot his own brother when Jay-Z was only 12 years old. He said he did it because his brother stole one of his rings. How did he get the firearm? "I went to someone's crib, someone's house, and got it," Jay-Z said, explaining how easy it was at the time to acquire a firearm. "They were everywhere. You didn't have to go far to get one. They were just everywhere." After doing this to his brother, he believed he was going to jail, but his sibling refused to press charges and ended up apologizing to his brother because he was an addict. "It was terrible. I was a boy, a child. I was terrified," he said in the interview. Lastly, let's discuss how he reportedly punched a female fan in 1999 at one of his concerts. Yikes. In footage from Jay-Z's concert film, Backstage, a scene from part of the film shows Jay-Z striking a young female fan back in 1999. The rapper appears to slap and then push her in front of him as he walks down a corridor with his entourage. A spokeswoman for the rapper says that the footage was being taken out of context. Speaking to the New York Daily News, she said, quote, "The person in that video is someone who he's worked with for years, and they are very, very close. And for it to be exerted like that is an insult."